Pistons surviving a 7-game series with the Magic to take on the Cavaliers. So it's Cade Cunningham on one side, Donovan Mitchell on the other. Really good game. Early fourth quarter. Pistons are up 9. And here comes Duncan Robinson. Look at him in James Harden's face.
Oh, it's getting a little spicy, Greeny.
Duncan Robinson would score 19. But now 6 minutes to go. Cavs are coming back. They're down just 5. James Harden, little floater. He had a personal 9-0 run. That ties the game. 5.5 minutes left. Cavs down 3. Harden, no. But wait a minute, Monica. We got a foul. He's going to make 3 foul shots.
Landing area. Got to be smarter than that, Thompson.
We got 3 foul shots, so we got ourselves a tie ball game. Next Cavs possession. Same score, so the Cavs with a chance to take the lead.
So, Greeny, this sequence is where I think is the quintessential difference of this series. This is the defensive effort of the Detroit Pistons that can't be denied all year. And then you go down on the other end. Cade Cunningham puts you in a mixer. What's happening, Cleveland? Like, what is happening? Jalen Duren having a double-double was huge in this one.
I can tell you what's happening, Vinny, is that Jalen Duren got 3 consecutive dunks on 3 consecutive possessions.
Yeah, and for a guy who did not look to be as engaged early, he seemed to find it late. Making timely plays is what the playoffs are about, not necessarily the final numbers.
Those 3 dunks to do it. Harden had a rough night numbers-wise, although he picked it up in the fourth quarter. Duren, 11 points, 12 rebounds. Pistons take game 1. Part of Cleveland's issue, and we didn't really see it there in the highlight because it's not easy to demonstrate in that context, but they had a real trouble holding on to the ball. 20 turnovers for the Cavs. James Harden had 7 of those while making just 6 shots. It's the 29th time he's had more turnovers than made shots in his playoff career. Overall, Harden has 43 turnovers in 8 games this postseason. Here he is after the game.
You look at my turnovers, and a lot of them were just on me and nothing they did. So, and, which led to I don't even know how many transition points they had, but it was way too many. And, if I had to put my print on one thing on the game, that's the game right there. How many points they had in transition? How far turnovers?
31.
That's the game. It's nothing else.
So, if he takes accountability for it, I can't think
31
how many
points.
times. Yeah.
For a team that has trouble scoring, like Detroit, to get the 20 from Tobias Harris and 19 from Duncan Robinson, that's just found money. And so much of it comes off of the turnovers that Harden, he characterized it perfectly. And, it's so funny, I feel for James Harden watching him for so long, watching his whole career in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we mentioned the number of games with more turnovers than baskets. That's impossible. And we're talking about a guy who has led the league in assists. You've got to have that James Harden if you're Cleveland, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And so the question is, can he still produce that? Not once, but 3 or 4 times in a playoff series.
Well, Wilbon, that is a little bit of a tall task. And here's why. When I look at this matchup, the Detroit Pistons are equipped to make life difficult, not just for Harden, but for Donovan Mitchell as well. There's a play in the third quarter. We're going to check it out right now. People forget, Cade Cunningham is basically an NFL quarterback that decided to play basketball.
Right.
Like, he's a big body. He can move. James Harden is not necessarily going to kill you with the quickness anymore. You got your leader, your star, diving on the floor, picking up a steal off of the other point guard who has been a multi-time All-Star in this league. Like, that, to me, is the quintessential shift in energy and style that's a contrast in this series.
James Harden has been in the league as long as Stephen Curry. We talk about Stephen Curry being one of the graybeards. The beard is a graybeard, and expecting him to play at a level that is higher than his usual playoff level, I don't think it's something that you should necessarily expect. Like Monica said, what she said about the Thunder, Detroit is more athletic, younger, more aggressive. Sometimes you can be too young. Sometimes your best player can be too old.
Is Harden your best, though?
Yeah.
Are we putting Harden the best?
Because Donovan Mitchell, obviously, is someone
he was supposed to make the difference. When they made that trade, they felt better about themselves. We saw an immediate bump, right? And I hear where you're going, and I'm with you about Donovan Mitchell. But that's a tag team effort.
Yeah.
And it's got to be both of them, particularly against all those things that we talked about with Detroit.
Go ahead.
And here's the other thing. Detroit's superpower, if they have one, their A-game is making sure that you don't get to yours.
Yep.
Their superpower is you can't get to play your best game against us. And if that means you're going to turn the ball over, you're going to foul us too much, that's what they do best, and that can win you playoff series where there is a talent disparity.
Harden is 36. Houston, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Cleveland. Now we're seeing it here. Winman, how much of this should be about James Harden this morning?
it's not just a James Harden discussion. It's Donovan Mitchell. And it's not just the Pistons. It was the Raptors. If you look at the last 6 games, they got off to a great start going up 2-0 on the Raptors. The last 6 games, Donovan and Harden have not gotten it done. Bottom line. The shooting percentages are not there. The turnovers are a massive problem. It's 51 turnovers for those two in the last 6 games. They are 4-6 in those, or 2-4 in those games. They've lost 4 of the 6. They have gone all 0-4 on the road. They actually did a really good job on Cade Cunningham last night. Cade was 6 of 19. They did a great job on Cade Cunningham during the season. But their star players have not delivered. You can look at other little things, but ultimately at the end of the day, you need Harden and Mitchell to deliver. This is a pathway for the Cavs. The Pistons are somewhat vulnerable. They're going to be better in the next couple of years than they are now. They got to get more from Harden and Mitchell. And by the way, both of those guys are in position to get contracts this offseason. If you're the Cavs, you got to decide these two work together. That's what's on the line right now.
One of these two teams is going to be in the Eastern Conference Final 2 weeks from now. The opportunity is so right there for Harden and Mitchell. Last night they weren't able.
And going down 3-1 and then rebounding the way. They weren't just down 3-1, guys. They were down 3.6 games to 2 at halftime of Game 6. So I tend to believe that when you play elimination game after elimination game after elimination game, you find out what you got. You find out what you're made of as far as a franchise, as far as individual teams, individual players. I mean, as far as your coach. And what you saw last night was a team that's not afraid of, oh man, we were up 11, we were up 17, and now they've come back on us. You didn't see them scare, you didn't see them buckle. And I think that's look, it's always a good thing when you win the next game. The results dictate those things.
Speaking of adversity, it seems to find James Harden in the postseason. Ooh. Can you explain this? 633 postseason turnovers in his career.
I mean, he's played a lot, for one. Mm-hmm. The stat that gets me the most is there's more games. I don't say more games. There's maybe 45 games, I think, where he has more turnovers than field goals. That's, for someone who handles the ball as much as he does, for someone who is genuinely regular season excellent. You know, granted, he's in year, 17 now. All these dudes are old, so I'm not going to expect him to buck his own history. But it's tough when that's what you rely on. It's tough when he's the main ball handler. Like, he had 2 plays against Cade Cunningham yesterday. One was a backcourt violation because he just wasn't paying attention. Another one was where Cade stripped him at the 3-point line, and it wound up going to like a full court dunk. Like, those are plays that can't happen, when you're supposed to be sure-handed with the ball. And at some point, you are what your record says you are.
Vin, what do you make of the flop discourse? Because it got really, really loud this week from Jaylen Brown and his comments after the 76ers beat the Celtics, to Joel Embiid responding to it, Donovan Mitchell getting into it last night. Why are we at this point?
Well, it was expensive for Jaylen Brown because it cost him $50,000. I don't know about you, but if I get a $50,000 fine, like, that changes my life.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
Doesn't change his. That's drop in the bucket.
Yeah, that's a Friday night in Boston somewhere. I don't know exactly where in Boston, but maybe that's a Friday night somewhere. I think what he said after what you say after the series and what you say during the series are 2 different things. When you're saying it after the series, you're venting, you're frustrated, whatever it is. When you're saying it during the series, it's gamesmanship. You're trying to set up the play for the next game. Donovan Mitchell hasn't gotten to the line as much over the course of the last 4 or 5 games. And you're talking about a 6'1" guard who's built stocky and everything else, so he's going and absorbing contact and he's not getting the calls. Secondarily, we don't want a parade to the free throw line. As fans and observers, we don't want that in the playoffs. We get enough of that in the regular season. We get 3-pointers and free throws. Like, we want a little more room for physicality. I will say, there's one person I don't want to hear this stuff from as far as flopping and free throws. It's the guy the night after you get eliminated, after you blow a 3-1 lead. Right. Because it sounds like you're not being intellectually honest about why your team lost the way that they lost.
Final thing here.
Yeah.
You're more interested tonight in watching Wemby or Ant?
Ooh, that's unfair. I'm going to be at Madison Square Garden. I am looking forward to seeing the New York Knicks. Go New York. No, Ant. Because Ant is just so
compelling. The fact that Ant is so unserious in every other space, but then in the post game, he says, you know what, I miss blockouts. He came out and said in the game that he won, his team won in large part because he came back and played well. He's like, man, I miss these blockouts. I can't be making these mistakes. Anthony Edwards has taken out Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, all in the past 2 years in the playoffs. That is a Hall